generation of aircraft that until this weekend hadn't been seen in the UK for 28 years. Both of these types, the B-17 and the Lancaster, were conceived for basically the same role, that of course, a heavy bomber, but there are many differences between them. The B-17 was conceived in the early 1930s with a view to long-range missions, possibly to bomb potential coastal invaders of the US. It was first flown in prototype form in 1935. The Lancaster was, of course, a vastly improved four-engined development of Avro's disastrous Manchester twin, which was a late 1930s design. The Lanc made its maiden flight in January 1942, and to some extent that all helps explain how their capabilities varied. And we'll see a very good example of that now, as the aircraft orbit in front of us with their bomb bays open. We're soon to see one of the most special formations mounted at IWM Duxford for many a year. The Lancaster that we just saw from the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, serial PA474, is of course one of just two airworthy. From the 1944 William Wyler documentary of that name, looking in particular at operations from East Anglian shores.
The wheels of the Memphis Belle leave the soil for the 25th time. The friendly soil of England, with its bordered farms and rural hamlets, its country estates surrounded by formal gardens and well-kept parks. The England of the towns and cities, whose people have defended their island's freedom for over 1,000 years. But today, their country...
Club, whose charitable donations help keep this aircraft flying for future generations to honour the past. And none of that would have been possible without the B-17's operator, Ellie Sallingbow, who somehow has seen to it that this aircraft keeps flying in private hands with no official support, as it has done since 1975 when this aircraft first arrived in the UK for airworthy preservation. It has been a remarkable effort. It was on the 17th of August 1942 that the combined Allied bomber offensive began, when the 8th Air Force flew its first raids into occupied Europe after a...
To the flying fortress now.
And as Sally B goes into its solo display, I think it's worth saying an enormous thank you to all involved in putting that formation together, to the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, and in particular the Lancaster captain, Flight Lieutenant Paul Wise, to the Sally B team led by Ellie Sellingbow with Captain Peter Kuipers, and the IWM Duxford Flying Display organising team. What a magnificent spectacle we've just witnessed. But let's return to the original B-17 Memphis Belle, and a further extract from the 1944 William Wyler documentary of that name, looking in particular at operations from East Anglian shores.